The NBA draft is a special night, a night NBA prospects have dreamed about their entire lives. Of course, you have the top prospects, the guys with high expectations you know are going to dominate off the bat. Then, of course, you have the steals that fly under the radar, and then you have everything else in between. But just because there's a ton of hype doesn't mean the player always pans out. So here are my top 5 NBA draft busts of all time.
Play clock at 5. Scored 4 goals. 3. A 2-home running and 1.
And by the way, just for the record, I'm not talking about guys that dealt with career-altering injuries. They're not on this list. So if you think that they should be on this list, come up with your own list. I'm going to come up with my own criteria. This is my top 5 list. At number 5, I'm kicking it off with Kwame Brown. Now, before you start yelling at your screen talking about, oh, Kwame should be higher on the list, remember, he played 12 years in the NBA. Low-key. People forget. Sure, the former number 1 overall pick averaged just 6.6 points per game for his entire career. And sure, he literally could do nothing well and never got better. And sure, there was much hype considering MJ drafted him. But with all of that being said, I got nothing. But before you start feeling bad for him, just remember the guy earned more than $60 million throughout his career. I certainly don't feel bad for him. At number 4, I got the Candyman, Michael Olakandi. Olakandi went first overall in the '98 draft, but just couldn't get it going. Yes, he dealt with severe injuries throughout his career, and I know I said I'm going to leave guys off the list that dealt with career-altering injuries, but this is not about the injuries for Candyman. According to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yes, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who coached Olakandi for a little bit with the Clippers and worked with him on the side, he said, and I quote, talented but uncoachable when it comes to Candy. When you're a former number 1 pick and you have one of the greatest players to ever step foot on the hardwood, working with you in practice, on your game, and you still can't get it right, and you don't listen to him, and he says you're talented but uncoachable, I'm sorry, but you're a bust. He averaged just 8 points per game for his entire career and was on the wrong end of this nasty poster, courtesy of Amari Stoudemire.
Off the dribble.
And it all went downhill from there. At number 3, I got Hasheem Thabeet. What a name drop. Who remembers Hasheem Thabeet? How can one be 7 foot 3 inches tall and be this bad at basketball? I'm telling you right now, I myself am better than Hasheem Thabeet at basketball. It's not like he sucked in college or anything like that. He was 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year and Co-Player of the Year at UConn. He was picked number 2 overall in 2009 over some pretty big names, might I add, and he just never panned out. Hasheem averaged 2.2 points per game in 224 career games. Ready for this? His career high in an NBA game, 13 points. Wow. Thabeet's currently playing in Taiwan, and he's actually playing really well, so kudos to Hasheem. We wish him the best, but quite the NBA bust. At number 2, the former number 2 pick overall, Darko Milicic. Not gonna lie, I kind of feel bad for this one, especially when you're drafted in between generational talents like LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Melo and Chris Bosh. That's gotta be tough, obviously. And go figure, he won a ring his first year in the NBA, averaging 1.4 points per game. Yo boy. But Darko just never met expectations and averaged 6 points for his NBA career. And if you remember, Melo and Wade actually went in on him on an IG Live a couple years back. And Darko actually responded to it. Go look it up. So I'm not going to talk too much shit because Darko has gotten into kickboxing since retirement, and he's a massive guy, so I'm going to leave it there. He's farming now or growing cherries overseas somewhere, but he's living off his millions, and I live in a closet in New York City. And the biggest bust in NBA history, without a doubt, has to be Anthony Bennett. Bennett went first overall in 2013, and do me a favor, take a minute right now, go to Wikipedia, and please look at how many teams he's played for and how many countries he's played in since 2013. I feel really bad, but go do it. Bennett is labeled by many to be the worst number 1 pick of all time, and his numbers back it up. He played in a total of 151 career NBA games and averaged a measly 4.4 points per game. Yikes. Yo, fun fact, Bennett literally didn't score his first NBA field goal until his 5th game.
Oh, come on! What is wrong with me today?
He just didn't look like he wanted to be on the court, he was often out of shape, and he lacked skills, and you need skills to be in the NBA. Thankfully for Bennett, nobody remembers the dreadful 2013 NBA draft except for that Giannis was picked. Now, I didn't forget about Greg Oden and Adam Morrison and Sam Bowie, but we left them off the list because they were riddled by injuries, and if they didn't get hurt throughout their entire career, who knows what would have happened? They could have been all-time greats. Probably not, but you know what I'm saying. So that's my list of top 5 biggest NBA draft busts of all time. Do you agree with my list? Who did I leave off? Let me know in the comments. My name is Brad Parker, and that's my top 5.